All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is once again time for the House of Common show. You already know who we are, you already know what it is and what we do. For those of you who don't, however, here's what you need to do. You need to go on YouTube and search the words House of Common Show. Then you need to watch every single video multiple times. You need to like every single video. You need to comment on every single video. You can be like my son and simply just say the words, "Hi, Dad." Or you can be like, well, don't say hi, Dad, to me, but you can be like my son and say hi, whatever else. You can say different things in the comments. And afterwards, share that video on your Facebook page. Yes, you, the person who still uses Facebook, even though it's a dumpster fire. You can go and share it there. You can go and share it on your Twitter feed. You can, or like we said, you can share it on Parler. You can share it on Gab. You can share it on Jab, whatever else. Jab, Fab, Lakers, and 5. It doesn't matter whatever it is. Share wherever you can. Also, we are on podcasts. You can find us on Apple Podcasts or you can find us on Spotify. When you find us, listen to every past episode and then leave a 5-star review and tell all your friends about it. Also, at the time of recording this, we have just released last week's episode on YouTube. You can find the segments there. They are fantastic. We are handsome as ever, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure to watch that stuff. Check us out, see what we're talking about. I believe we're talking about free speech there based on some things that we've seen in the news. It's a fantastic conversation. You don't want to miss it. Gentlemen, I ask you, how are you all doing? Are you happy to be on the show tonight, my friends, my brothers?
Always. Yeah, man. Happy to be alive. Happy to be alive. It's small group, baby. Love small group.
Cell groups.
Cell group.
No,
My bad.
no.
Yeah.
Post 9/11, no cell groups, guys. No.
Oh, right.
We gotta shave our beards if this is a cell group.
We are literally just started.
I'm good.
We just started, and already we are literally about to get canceled by somebody. Gentlemen, this past weekend, so I put it in the chat. I was able to watch a movie on Sunday, and then I watched it again with my wife yesterday. A movie called One Night in Miami, directed by the queen of acting, in my opinion, Regina King, the Oscar-winning, 3-time Emmy Award-winning Regina King directed this film. Hopefully, she gets nominated for an Oscar for the first time for direction. It is a movie that is set right after Muhammad Ali beats Sonny Liston. Yes, over Viola Davis. And now, before someone gets in my DMs and says, "How dare you rate one person over another one? Everyone's talent
come on.
is
Nobody's
so on and
doing
so
that.
forth." This, I'm not saying that one is better. I just prefer Regina King's acting more and her stuff more. Viola Davis is lights out. She's amazing. I used to like Regina King and her stuff. She was in Friday, guys.
Yo, the Boondocks. Viola Davis ain't got the Boondocks.
To be fair to everybody, I did ask Chase over Viola Davis because I prefer Viola Davis. But
Listen, I rate that, man. I rate that, man. Listen.
And then you got bullied.
And then you got
Bullied. He got bullied, bro.
So, like I was saying, after Muhammad Ali, then known as Cassius Clay, beat Sonny Liston for the World Heavyweight Championship of the World in boxing at 22 years old. We know in history he spent that night with 3 other friends: Malcolm X, one of the main leaders of the Nation of Islam; Jim Brown, who was one of the best running backs of all time for the Cleveland Browns in the NFL; and Sam Cooke, who sang amazing songs and sang one of the greatest anthems of protest of all time, "A Change Is Gonna Come." So the 4 of them, they hang out together, and in this film they dramatize what the actual conversation would have been like, and it's just fantastic. It is like an actor's row, and just amazing film. I recommend it highly to anybody who's watching this. There are some bad words in it. Don't hold it against me. Hold it against the time and period of which they lived. Point I'm trying to make, though, is this. Gentlemen, it made me think to myself, if who would I spend a meal with or an evening with of that caliber of individual in my day and age? And so, gentlemen, I pose that to you. Dead or alive, who are 3 people who you would want to sit around with and have a conversation with about anything? Who are 3 people that you would want to do that with? And guys, just to let you know, you guys cannot pick Andrew Jones. I know we're all tempted. I know we'd all be tempted to sit down with Andrew have him mentor us and have him remind us of our
You guys are
frailties.
ridiculous. You're
But
ridiculous.
how much better we can be because of Jesus. I know we all want that, and to learn how to sing, how to be a good husband, how to be a good father. I know we want that, but Andrew's off the table. Okay, just letting you guys know.
Oh,
Is that okay?
Ridiculous.
Andrew, just be humble. Be humble, man.
Just start. Somebody start.
So
please.
Bart, who would you have your meal with?
Yeah, that's tough, to start off with. There's a lot of people that come to mind. For me, I'd love to hear even all the intricate stories, with Nelson Mandela. I feel like there's still so much more insight that he had in his life and how he, grew up and the type of world. I read Trevor Noah's book. I've read a memoir of or a biography of Nelson Mandela before. And I feel like they just lived in such a different world, even though it's the modern age, post 50, such a different type of life. I would definitely do that. MJ, and not the basketball player, it's going to be Jackson. He's, again, just musically, when you mix rock and roll and Motown and popular, and then kind of invent a new wave of popular music that's still being replicated, people are trying to match sonically. That's probably number 2. Number 3, Dave Chappelle. Just the way he tells stories is unreal, and I just find him fascinating as a storyteller and as a leader. And last is going to be Barack, man, my main man Barry. Barry is the bomb, and I want to know even more about his life. I'm working through his book right now, so he's super interesting. He's top of mind, so I gotta get Barry in there.
Cool.
Shout out to Dinas and Meryl.
Didn't he just
If
name
you
4?
just you just named 4.
I was
That's
like,
fine.
yo,
Let's go. 4 is fine.
Isn't it 4? Oh, sorry, my bad.
it was 3.
It was
Yeah.
You're an over-
3, Bart. Follow the rules.
Well,
Yo,
Bart's
who's getting
dependent
cut?
on
You're
the
cutting
copy.
Who
Barack?
you cutting?
Yeah, you gotta cut what? Who's gotta go? One's gotta go, bro.
Barry's gotta go. Sorry, Barry.
Barry's going. Okay. All right.
Barry's gotta go. Fam.
All right.
Hail to the chief. Jeez. Yo, you're just like everybody else in this world, man.
Mandela's the first black president, so
I already got a president in there, so Barry's gotta go.
I bet. Reem.
Yeah, so seeing how Barry's out of yours, I'm gonna add him to mine. I'm gonna
Cheap.
take that.
Lame.
Rotted.
So he's the first guy that I want to sit down with. He is the
Snake
first
moves.
president of the United States.
No, hold on, Kareem. If you were really woke, you would have said Michelle.
Okay.
Said Michelle, don't put that on me. You never said Michelle. You can't come at me with that. Maybe one of the other guys could say that, but you already said you were going to sit down with Barack. All right, so I'm going to sit down with Barack, and yeah, man, he's the first president of the black president of the United States. That's history. There's people that I know who are family and friends that are in the States that never thought that they would ever see the day while they were alive that there would have been a black president, and so it would be cool to hear even the perspective of us. For most people during our time, that they would have never even wrapped their minds around that idea of becoming what he became. So I'd love to be able to really sit down with him and find out like what was his thought process. Was there ever anything that hindered him from being able to make the decisions and make and do the things that he was able to do? So that's one. The next one would be MLK. For me, I think even for now, like during our time now, one of the biggest things that we got to work out as a people, as a culture, is to really come down with a game plan. I feel like, yes, we know that there's a lot of issues in terms of racial injustices, but where I feel like a man like MLK, where he was different is he didn't just do things to do things or just complain to complain, but he came out with a game plan and he was diligent in actually fulfilling that. And so I would love to be able to pick his brain and apply it to even what we have going on right now and things from how he saw things 50 years ago to now, 50 plus years ago to now. Some things that he'd like to see us do as a people to continue the things that he started back when he was alive. And the last person, y'all might get at me, but the last person I want to sit down with is Eve. I want to know why she let the serpent convince her.
that Eve.
That Eve, yo.
I
wanna
you
know.
thought you were talking about the rapper?
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the
I thought it was the rapper, but no,
Yeah.
no, it's not the rapper. Eve.
Just-
I want to know
It's in
why.
the barber shop.
No, I'm not talking about that one.
Yo, shout outs to Philly,
I'm
though.
talking
Shout outs to
about-
Philly still.
Yeah, shout outs to her too, but like I'm talking about Eve. If it wasn't for her, she ruined everything for everybody. So I want to.
Whoa! This guy.
So I want to talk to her and put her in her place. That's all.
Fair.
So if you're watching this on video, you're seeing us do this. Shouts to Kobe Bean Bryant. That's us doing the ISO. That's us saying, "Reem, you're on your own, bro."
Man hit his left stick. Man hit the left trackpad on the PlayStation 5 button and press triangle and called the ISO.
Subtle flex by OK.
All right, who's next?
Yeah, listen. Three people. I'm going Quincy Jones, because Quincy Jones was responsible for a lot of like really huge artists and entertainers. He's a legend in the music industry, entertainment industry, really. So I'm going Quincy Jones number one. My second pick. Oh man. My second pick. I'm going with Michael Jordan. I want to sit down, listen to MJ talk about, just sports and how he rose to become the greatest basketball player of all time, what drove him, the effects of his father's passing on his life. And I know we know those stories already, but just to hear it from his own mouth. And the last person, I'm going with George W. Bush, and really all I want to know is the moment.
Senior or junior?
W is junior.
W
is junior. I really want to know that whole September 11th sort of just those moments where he's sitting in the kindergarten classroom reading a story and he gets that I want to hear him just, and in his accent, I want to hear him just going through everything and talking about everything. So those are my wide-ranging people.
Stefan, it's more than you know.
I just think it's funny. I just think it's funny, Stefan, that one, you didn't say Avon Barksdale, and two, that you want to ask George W. Bush about the most talked about, an issue that is wildly recorded, where it's written down what he was thinking, how he was feeling, how everything happened.
But I want to hear it in his voice.
You want to hear it in his voice? I got you.
That was a main point. But
that'd be yeah, it's true.
If you,
they hear I want to hear Dave Chappelle read a menu. Just I was hearing his voice going I just want to hear him in his voice read a menu. That's hilarious.
But because Bart doesn't like my answer, I'll go with Alfred Hitchcock.
No.
Don't let him bully you like that.
Don't let him bully
you. I got bullied twice,
bro.
No, Stefan.
Why are you letting him bully you like that?
In the words of Viola Davis, your friend, you was smart. You was kind.
Important.
Must have you some testosterone pills, fam.
Better send me my steak.
But you know what, Stefan? At the same time, too, Stefan, if you want to feel, you can feel.
Thank you.
Never deny your emotions. We're a safe show here, ladies and gentlemen. Calvin Forbes.
I don't know how this is going to record because apparently my mic levels suck for Adam. But I would say Dave Chappelle number one, to host the conversation between him, James Baldwin, and I would say Tupac Shakur.
Oof. So what would you want that conversation to be about? I'm curious.
About their brothers.
I think that you have two major culture shifters and a great teller of story, and I think there'd be tons of hilarity. I think the drama, the ups and downs, the stories would be quite great. So, and just to learn from those guys, when you think of decade to decade to decade of passers of the torch. For voices that look like us, that moved and shaped culture, and really captivated the entire world without having to pick presidents. I think that's a pretty cool mix.
Wow, that was a shot. All right, Timothy.
For myself, I think back to Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who is a pastor. He was a spy. He ended up dying, and some would say being one of the last orders of Adolf Hitler for his attempt at assassinating him. And I would just love to sit down and hear him talk, just to be able to get inside of his mind, his reflections, and if he could look at society today and comment on it, I think that would be real. The second one, which is probably one that none of you guys would be thinking, would be Princess Diana.
That would be.
That'd actually be really good.
That was a nice one.
Shouts to the Crown. Shouts to the Crown on Netflix right now.
Yo, that's an elite pick right there. That's an elite pick.
Yo, listen, okay.
And it's something that the life that she lived, the things that she saw and never said anything about, the dynamic between her and the Queen, and also that whole, just the whole tension of everything would be something that would just be wild. And it's like, I remember the day that, not the day explicitly, but I remember when she died. But it was just one of those things that it would just be wild. And then last, and on a level not least, I would love to have Ben Johnson at the table.
That's the most Tim answer you said right there. Facts. Yo.
And Cheetah energy drinks.
So wrong.
It's not wrong, man. That's not wrong.
All the time.
No.
Ben
But
Johnson.
it's like the reason for that though is with Ben Johnson, it's like that whole era of steroids in track and field. It's something that in that race there were only like two guys that didn't that didn't fail a test over the course of like 10 years. Everyone was dirty.
Oh, yeah.
Even if some of them were able to get over it, it was because they had their athletics association come to play for them. And one of the
Carl
things
Lewis.
that is, yeah, there we go.
Shout outs to Carl Lewis.
So it's like
And-
my roided up
him
guy
out.
beat your roided up guy, so I'm still
Yeah.
the winner. Like,
Exactly.
But then they
They
complain.
were all of Jamaican descent, by the way. Just saying.
Yo, why are you doing that, bro? Yo, why
Wow.
are you doing that, fam?
Yo.
Thank you, Calvin. Thank you, Calvin.
Wow.
Really, Cal?
Thank you, Calvin.
Calvin went
But-
from quiet last week
Yo,
to
I
coming
hope-
with bombs
Yo,
this week, bro.
I hope somebody who's from Jamaica is watching the show and really gets at Cal this week. 100%.
In the
So
chat.
don't forget to comment.
But
We're-
it's like
Don't forget to comment. Get at him if you want.
Oh, no.
no. But
You're
it's like
champions.
yeah, it's like so the reason I would love for him to be at that table more so though would be for the stories and the tales of the moment he tested positive and the fact that there were people in that room that weren't supposed to be in that room. And then there's a dinner that he says he had with the person in that room. And he basically says things that would lead you to believe that his sample was spiked. Not to say that Johnson wasn't on something else, but yeah, it'd just be wild.
Shout out to Cheetah energy drinks.
Listen, and for more of Tim's takes on Ben Johnson, you can find him on QAnon. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Liken him to a QAnoner? Damn.
That's arms.
It's gonna be like someone's gonna be like,
That's arms.
Yo, bro, you need to apologize. You know what you no, wow, man. You basically just called
Yo,
them conspiracy theorists.
Watson, just chill before you get bullied again, eh?
No.
Cal.
But I will say this. I remember being like watching like the Seoul Olympics, and I remember watching him win, and Ben, this is the greatest day for Canada, and like legitimately, like, can you imagine Ben Johnson
Hours
in
later.
the day of Twitter?
Hours later.
Can you imagine like right now during like social media and Twitter, like how he would be roasted? Oh, crazy.
So what year was that again? I can't remember. This.
88.
88.
There's a 30 for 30 on it, and it is
fantastic.
absolutely
It's so
it's
good.
Best. It's the
amazing.
best.
It's good. It's good.
It's so good.
979 asterisks.
All of them, all. But you see, thing like anyhow, we can go over that for days. All right.
Yeah, yeah. We should do that. Save that for another show.
For sure. Yeah, who got played in the steroid era? All right, O'Shea.
Number one, I'm gonna go with my guy, R.I.P. Kobe Bryant.
Bet.
I want to pick that brain, man. I want that Mamba mentality.
X.
That's easy for me. Number two, Jerry Seinfeld. I watch comedians in cars getting coffee.
I got you up there. Yeah.
Yo, that looks like it'd be a fun time. I cannot lie. That's good vibes. And then, yo, the last one kind of a toss-up, but I'm gonna have to go with Malcolm X. There's a lot in that brain that I want to pick. I want to see like the thought process behind a lot of stuff. Like we hear the quotes, especially for like someone my age who didn't really get to see a lot of that behind the scenes and stuff like that. I really want to pick that brain, see where that thought process fostered from. And I don't want to say hatred, but borderline hatred on that point where it was to the point of, or how it got to that point of being so aggressive. I think that would be an interesting deep dive.
Have you ever seen that documentary, Who Killed Malcolm X?
On Netflix?
Yeah, it was on Netflix.
Yeah.
That one, that's a solid documentary.
Everyone should watch that one.
Mm-hmm. Andrew
All
Jones.
All right. So there are no specific order here.
Moses. Okay, cool.
Yo, I was literally about to type that in the chat, bro. I was literally gonna be like, Jesus, Noah.
That would be awesome.
No,
That would be awesome.
Apad.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
That being said, if you are watching the show and those are your three, we want to let you know that's a good pick. We're a safe show.
Solid pick.
Solid pick. There's no better pick than the pick of Jesus.
I don't worry about these haters. I don't care. But no specific order. First, Harriet Tubman.
Oof.
So I would pick Harriet Tubman just because, Underground Railroad, how she did that, being a woman, number one, and just being a black woman, number one, to be able to fight through all that and succeed. And so it's just amazing. And so it would be nice to sit down with her. I did have Martin Luther King, but, Kareem already took that.
You don't rate him anymore? Like, I had Martin Luther King, but I'm not
I was thinking maybe I try somebody new, but Martin Luther King just for the same thing, right? Like, he did a lot. So I really can't say much more than what Kareem's.
I'd read the same kind of words.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we just can't see you.
I don't know what happened there.
Reem, none of the shadist behavior, bro. Come on, man.
The what?
What's going on here, guys?
Oh, stop this.
Hold on, something's going a little weird here.
Hey, how does it feel to be the dream of Malcolm embodied?
Yo, it feels wonderful. And I want to give a special shout out to Stefan, Chase, Bart,
All right.
Andrew. Y'all keeping the dream alive.
I bet. All right, who's your third? Who's your third, Andrew? I'm not even gonna give you any time.
Here's my third, and it's gonna shock. But Bill Cosby. Just to say why.
That doesn't shock me.
Why?
That's it.
I would say why. Bill, why? Why you cause so much trouble to these girls?
That's a strong pick. That's a good one.
That's a strong pick. That's an elite pick.
Better not be there alone.
I'd say,
Yeah,
Bill,
You only did what you did, man. Don't do that.
Well, Andrew, it's the
Bill,
thing
I grew up with you, bro. Why'd you do this? Why do you have to break our hearts like that?
Andrew, with the
just-
thing
all
that
he
you need to
broke, man.
understand, Andrew,
He
is that
also-
I was
he also
thinking that
broke a
I was
couple laws.
positive and
I also had King David too, but I'll
Oh, I knew that.
You want to ask him about the best Bathsheba moment? Is that what you want to do?
No, he was saying King
nothing
David.
like that.
Why?
Why?
David,
What were you thinking?
What were you thinking?
No, he was trying to set up King David with Bill Cosby.
I can imagine all of Andrew's
That would've
pictures,
been
him like
that-
looking at three people, going like, "Why did you do this?
Yeah.
Why did you do
Why?
this?" He's like, he's such a kind of like be like, "What's wrong with you?"
I wish I could have been there and told you, you're done. You're done. You're done.
Yo, we all know that Andrew wants King David to peer review I See the Lord.
Oh, stop it.
Would it make it to the song?
Co-written
That's
by,
a hot take.
co-written by. That's a hot
That
take.
would be. This guy got a better co-sign than that.
You see these attacks?
Hey.
You see these
Oh,
attacks?
Jonesy, they are bullying me.
Can you imagine?
I thought
They
I
are
was
bullying
getting.
me. You see this? You see this?
I want it on the heart, bro.
You see how they're bullying me? You see how they're bullying me? so?
David got his thousands. Andrew has his 10,000s. I see it.
Also,
Anybody throwing spears at you, Andrew?
Dreams, that is.
You guys are throwing spears at me right now, man.
no.
Chill, guys. He might cut your clock in tomorrow.
No. I'm gonna throw you flowers. I'm gonna throw you some flowers. I See the Lord is right now on
Shut up.
Spotify and on Apple Music. You can download it right
You
now.
guys are so stupid.
And make sure to leave reviews and share them with your friends. Because actually, as much as we bug our brother Andrew, the song is fire. Shouts to the homie for writing something that's really powerful. Good on you, Andrew. Shouts to you.
Before Adam goes, Jonesy,
show notes.
I noticed that you're the only artist I know that didn't show their profile from Spotify on Instagram. What were your streams like last year?
Yo, you're wrong for that. You're wrong for that.
Every artist I know, they shared what their streams were for the year and how many countries they were played in. So come on, tell us.
Listen, we're not doing that. Okay, Adam, you're next.
Oh, you're wrong for that.
Bro, he's blushing.
Hosky.
As a songwriter says, the invisible revealed to me. We want to see those streams, Andrew. We want to see those streams.
Oh,
Nah, I'm playing.
We need it.
I don't know. I thought a lot about this question, and I guess the it's more so about it's not so much about the people, it's more so about the question that I would ask at dinner. And so for me, the first one would be like I'd want to sit down with Billy Graham and I'd want to ask him what is the cost of integrity, you know, in terms of never having your name tarnished and like what did that cost you your entire life, you know? And then I want to sit down with Rajon Rondo, and ask him what is the cost of discipline. Because I guess the reason why I wouldn't do like Kobe Bryant is because for Kobe, for me, it's easy to see the cost. The cost is that like he pays that cost every day. He pays that cost to be the best, like, or, you know, best of his time or whatever you want to call him, that thing. But like Rondo has never been the best on any team he's ever played. But I could see him just as disciplined as Kobe Bryant. And it's like, man, like even in a place of like mediocrity, what is that cost of discipline, and what are you paying every day to be who you are? And then the last one is Christopher Nolan, and what is the cost of creativity? And I would say that because I love Christopher Nolan, but there's a lot of people who rate some of his movies and don't rate all of them. You know what I mean? In terms of they look at something like Interstellar, like I hate that movie or whatever, but like what is the cost of creativity of like going on a creative vision that you have that not everybody would, you know, understand. And, you know, to answer the question of that, like even Tenet, like I don't understand Tenet. I like the look of Tenet, but I don't understand it yet. I've only seen it once. It was way too fast paced in the theater, but I'm like, man, like this is a guy whose creative vision I trust. And so, you know, anyway. And then an honorable mention, this is going to maybe blow your guys' mind, would be Justin Bieber. And I would want to ask him, what is the cost of your calling? In terms of Justin Bieber has been a major pop artist for more. He's been a major pop artist more years than he's been alive. He's been an artist for more years than he's been alive than not. And he missed out completely on his, childhood,
his innocence.
his childhood, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so I
And he had
think
a big redemption story, right? Like where he kind of turns his whole life around when it could have ended up like others who have gone before him.
yeah, 100%, man. So I'd love that. I'd love to know that story, man.
All right, then I'll quickly go through my list. Maya Angelou, one of the great writers of the civil rights movement and onward. I love to sit down with Prince. Prince, who is like just like
a weird guy.
like everything about him, from like like why did you wear pants that had no coverings on your butt cheeks? Like why did you do that? But then also like what made you write Sign of the Times? What made you write 1999? What made you write Party Man?
Or
You know,
could
like
you
all
really
those.
ball? Could you really ball like
Could you really,
Charlie Murphy said? Did you really go to work on Charlie Murphy and his homies?
and then
Yo,
offer us
like,
and then offer him pancakes.
Jay,
Yo, Charlie Murphy would be a good
game
one to sit down with.
blouses.
Yeah,
But
Charlie
remember,
Murphy is somebody would be
he.
one.
But then remember, like so, if you guys know the story a little bit, Prince played ball in high school. Like he played ball in high school. Like, did you really have a roller? Did you really like have a roller skating rink in your house and just like invite people to come over to roller skating, like those sort of things? Prince would be one. So Maya Angelou, Prince, and then the third one would be Eddie Murphy. Because I want to know Eddie Murphy and go like, okay, so what was it like being young and famous, and then have it all fall apart and make really crappy movies, and then have these moments where like you pop back up and then pop back down? Like what was like the roller coaster, and yet still all the people who we think are funny would all say that you're the funniest person alive. And then if I was going to have an honorable mention, I'll steal one from Adam. I want to sit down with Kendrick Lamar. I want to sit down with Kendrick Lamar and just kind of pick his brain on his music and his influence. And did he know when he's writing backstage or backseat freestyle rather? Does he know that he is going to become one of the most important, prolific writers of the 21st century?
And then university and colleges.
And to have him sit down with Maya Angelou and have the two of them talk about poetry and words would just be, and then to have Prince in there too and have the three of them talk about stuff and just sit there and Instagram story the entire time would be fantastic.
Wow. Yo, listen, so Prince had a house in Toronto. And
Bridle Path.
yeah, he used to go get Tim Hortons from the gas station at Leslie and Lawrence, like on a regular basis. And people knew him so well that they didn't even bother him anymore.
Can you imagine that though? Like you imagine like Break Prince is kind of walking in. I'm Prince. I like a double.
Oh, but his voice is really deep. His voice.
Yeah, he's got a deep.
He's got that deep voice when he's talking normal.
Like imagine you're there pumping gas, and then you just see Prince pull up. Like, and Prince being weird, he's probably wearing.
He has these shoes. He has these like high, these high platforms that are this big, beside a Ford Navigator, just pumping gas in there. Hi, Prince. Like that'd be that'd be crazy.
For real though, Charlie Murphy. Everybody knows Charlie. Darlin Rollins, Bill Burr, what's his name? Chappelle. They all say when it comes to storytelling, bar none, nobody has as many stories and can tell them as prolifically.
Wrong.
Dave Chappelle said this. Right? And he said all those stories were true, and they had to go and get the sign off from Eddie to get the show season 2 on season 1 off the wall, right? Like
I would just ask
onto production. Crazy.
I would just ask Charlie Murphy, what were the 80s really like?
Yo, listen, you might ask him that question, and you might come back high just from asking him the question, even if he doesn't have any drinks.
And apparently he's like a black belt, right? He's a crazy fighter.
Yeah, he was.
R.I.P. to the man.
Force about Charlie Murphy.
What was I gonna say? Like, I will say this though. Like, out of all the picks, like I would want to be at Andrew's table to hear him talk to Bill Cosby. I would want to be there for that.
I'm telling you, anybody would want to be there.
I don't want to be there, fam.
I wouldn't want to.
Come on now, come on.
No, here's why. Here's why, Andrew. Because I want to ask him, like, when he's, what you remember when he was doing, they were doing, remember the when they were on the stairs, the whole family, they're doing the Ray Charles stuff, and when they're doing, you know what I mean, like, and when they're doing the James Brown, I want to ask him, like, why did you ruin your life so that I can't watch that anymore with my kids?
Exactly. Why
did you do that?
Why
Because I
couldn't
can't
pass
watch
it
it with my
down?
kids. Thank you for watching this segment. Leave a comment, leave a note in our comment section about who you would sit down with. Men or women, dead or alive, people who have been meaningful to you. And yes, you can add men or women from the Bible as well. So feel free to leave that in the comment, people who you would sit down with. Let us know about our list, who you thought we would be sitting down with, and so on and so forth. This has been a great conversation. This has also and always will be the House of Common Show. Bong.